And tenants are getting more help from the city. City leaders announcing new funding for people facing eviction.
It will help them pay for an attorney and get some guidance. WKYT's Garrett Weimer and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw break down how the city is investing some federal money to help.
I am really excited today to announce a new service within the Housing Stabilization Program.
Lexington Mayor Linda Gorton announces expanded services for tenants facing eviction to have access to legal counsel if they need it. Legal Aid of the Bluegrass and Kentucky Equal Justice Center will assist where needed, including mediation with landlords.
You know, when you've got a situation where 99% of the landlords have an attorney and 99% of the tenants do not, then there's a huge power imbalance.
Andrea Zhang is with Kentucky Tenants, a local tenant-led organization fighting for affordable housing. She likes the program because it may keep eviction off a person's record.
Most landlords will not take your rental application if you've been evicted. It's a huge barrier. People are homeless because they were evicted in the past.
6th District Council member Denise Gray says she's attended eviction court to see what it's like because some of her constituents were in a financial bind with the rent.
Well, my constituents are saying that they want housing that is affordable and that is safe.
Jenny Ramsey with the Catholic Action Center says the new funds should go further.
That some of it would actually go to retain people's homes and to supply them with interim housing.
We ask, is it still affordable to live in Lexington?
No, it's not affordable. Not for those who are in the lower socioeconomic.
You know, there's so many factors that are driving up rents, interest rates, construction costs.
We have numerous people who can't afford rent, even just rent here.
Is it survivable for people is the real question.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Zhang says each month about 400 people in Lexington are evicted. And city officials tell us about 4,000 residents will be helped with these additional services. And Councilmember Gray says there is discussion in council chambers to take 1% from the general fund to place toward affordable housing.